Getting a perfect max out is easy. You start a game of NES Tetris and you'll only score a Tetris until you've maxed out. One burn, whether a single, double or triple, and the run is over. Okay, it's easy on paper. In reality, nobody has ever done it in the 35 years of NES Tetris. Until April 16 of 2024. 17-year-old NES Tetris player Noah Dengler was the first one to achieve a perfect max out run. 1 million points, 43 consecutive Tetrises, and 0 burns. Let's take a deep dive into that perfect max out run with Dengler himself.
Yes! Yes!
I got into NES Tetris mid-summer 2021. I had seen the Joseph versus Jonas YouTube videos in my recommended. Pretty similar to everyone else.
17 piece drop. There's the
double.
bar.
Boom!
There it is.
Tetris for Joseph.
And yours.
And we have a new Tetris World Champion.
Video, and I really wanted to do what they were doing. So I got like a pretty bad emulator. It was a Raspberry Pi. And I hooked it up to a monitor and started playing. When I was playing on the Raspberry Pi, I was unintentionally playing on a slower speed. So I submitted a video. It was a video of a max out, and people told me that it would not be verified since it was, I think it was 4/5 speed or something. So
Yeah.
After that, I bought a console so I could actually not cheat.
Buying that console was a great decision. Starting with stacking knowledge and new motivation, Dengler, with the hyper tapping style, tapped himself towards a max out in November of 2021.
Please be max out, please. Let's fucking... Let's go!
2021 was also the year innovator Cheese hit 4 Tetrises on level 29 during the WPL Open.
Oh, we missed it. No.
Havalevikas reached the 2021 CTWC finals and Hydrandu got the very first rollover.
And I really wanted to do that. I wanted to get a rollover. It was sort of the motivation there. Especially at that time, it was pretty new and there wasn't as much resources because there was like 5 or 10 rollers that knew what they were talking about. So there was just access to information. So it was pretty hard.
So how did you try to learn rolling?
It was just trial and error. I tried a lot of different grips, a lot of different gloves, and eventually I found something that worked for me.
From 2022 until 2024, Dengler proved to be a steady competitive player, winning Classic Tetris Monthly's Future Circuit in August of 2022, winning Classic Tetris Monthly Challenger Circuit in May of 2023, finishing top 8 during the Classic Tetris World Championship in 2023, and winning Challenger Circuit again in January of 2024. 2024 is a crazy year for NES Tetris. Game Crash from Blue Scooty going viral, 60 million points world record by LXT, a rebirth that can happen at any minute, but also a 1.5 million going into level 29, original kill screen. Well, in theory, it's possible to score a 1.5 million before level 29, and it's proven via RNG manipulation. Noah was the first one to achieve it on random seeds. However, Noah didn't have the goal for going for 1.5 into 29.
I definitely wasn't going for it. It was just a fortunate accident, I guess. Because I wanted to improve my world record of 1.44 into kill screen because some other people had been getting good pace runs, like Sidnev and Sam Finch. So I wanted to put it out of reach of them. And then I ended up getting a 1.5. Yeah, it takes a lot of dedication and stacking knowledge and knowing that it's not supposed to be easy, because a lot of times you'll have days where you go for like 2 hours and you don't get to transition.
Yeah,
that can be hard mentally, but you have to know that it's a lot of RNG and it just takes dedication. But after I got the 1.5 in a kill screen, Fractal DM'd me like, "Hey, congratulations," and he asked me like, "What are you gonna do next?" And I wasn't sure. He's like, "You should go for a perfect max out." I was like, "Okay, that's probably a good idea. I guess I'll do that."
What do you have to do to get a perfect max out? When you score, you only have to go for a Tetris. Since Noah started from level 18, to get a perfect max out, you have to score 43 consecutive Tetrises. 33 of them will be on level 18, 2 of them will be on level 19, 3 on level 20, 2 on level 21, and the last 3 on level 22. And if you do that, you end up with 1,017,600 points, or with the score cap on 999,999. A perfect max out.
The attempt of the perfect max out really starts on level 19. Level 18 is just getting to the starting point of the attempt.
You are 75% into the run. Adrenaline is pumping and speed increasing, so you have less room for error. It is truly do or die. Stacking is also very different.
You just have to stack in a way that there's never any possibility of taking a burn. In comp, like sometimes you make a double well just to be safe, but if you make a double well in a perfect game, that's a liability because you need a long bar to fill it in without burning. So it's just a very different style of stack.
The stack ideally is built out a bit higher on the right side compared to the left side, which is different from a normal stack, where you want to build the left side higher. But how do you train for a perfect max out? Well, for Noah, the beginning wasn't as different compared to his 1.5 million into the level 29 grind.
Those two runs, I think it's less of a stacking difference than a mindset difference, because in a perfect attempt, you absolutely know you can't take any burns you just can't take any burns.
Yeah.
But in a 1.5 or 1.4 run, you're sort of having to calculate, does this burn make my stack better enough to have it be worth to take the burn? And especially toward the end, you're like, level 25, okay, what am I on pace for? How many burns do I have? You're sort of calculating how much risk you need to take rather than a perfect run, which is taking all the risk. After the 1.5, I took a break of a couple days and I sort of thought about it, like, do I want to go for a perfect max out? And then I think Fractal booted up a stream of perfect attempts and I was like, okay, well, I gotta go for it now.
It doesn't mean that the perfect max out grind was an easy grind. Noah had 3 one-offs and all 3 cases were very different. The first one was maybe the most sad one, because it was the first time you really got towards the perfect max out. Like you had 1 Tetris left and you thought you burned or played the Tetris, but instead you burned triple.
That was tough because it's hard to count 8 rows up. So I thought I had 8 rows and I was just throwing pieces wherever so I could get bars. And then once I got the first one, I looked again and it was 3 rows. So I realized that was not it. That was definitely the most nervous I've ever been playing Tetris. Like no competition match, not the 1.5. That was by far the most nervous I've ever been because I was just so close to something I've been going for. Knowing that you're that close to something that you're sort of expecting of yourself to get, because I was really feeling like I wanted to get it a lot, so it was sort of a expectation that I needed to get this, so yeah, I was very nervous.
The second attempt, like a couple of days later, you got to the point where you got pretty much a perfect stack for the last Tetris and the long bar just didn't came, and you got an L piece, you put it to the left, you created the long bar dependency on the left, and no long bar to fill that long bar dependency.
That was hard because I think one major downfall in my mindset was when I would get to level 21 or 20, I would be like, is this the run? Is this going to be the run? So I was focusing on, in my mind, getting the run and the celebration sort of, instead of actually being in the moment and closing it out. So I made some mistakes that run just because of my mindset.
So your third one-off, you created minimal holes in the stack. That's basically it. And once you see that, that was not even with a one-off. Like you had 2 Tetrises left, but you played like you saw the minos in the stack, the holes in the stack, but you played further. Like you didn't want to believe it.
I have no words at this point. I literally no words.
Well, that was the same day as the second one-off. So it's like, I guess I was looking to try to build a dirty Tetris on top, but it just didn't work out.
The title of the video is, I don't even know what to name this anymore. Like, you were devastated.
Yeah, that was just a low point. So I was like, am I really... Like, the first one-off was sort of motivating. Like, okay, I got close. This is doable. But after getting 2 more, I was like, hey, can I get past this mental barrier? Or is somebody else going to get it?
I mean, were you expecting that people were racing you for the Perfect Maxout?
Yes. A lot of that time, particularly after the couple of one-offs, I really thought Fractal was going to be the one to get it because he was just pumping out perfect transitions on stream just at a way faster rate than I was. So internally I was like, I think Fractal's going to get it because I just hadn't been able to close it out.
Before April 16 of 2024, a Perfect Maxout has never been done before. Not once in the 35-year history of the game. To give context, before Noah got his Perfect Maxout, 4 players has reached the NES Tetris game crest. As of this recording, 6 players have reached the game crest, and Noah is still the only one with a Perfect Maxout run. So, we're gonna watch your Perfect Maxout run together. How important are the first 2 pieces? Like, do you know with these 2 pieces, like, where you're gonna put them?
Yeah, so usually, I know I've memorized all the perfect openers, or like the best openers, just so I can have that, so I know with full confidence that I'm gonna make the right moves. But I think in this run I was a little bit, like I remember being tilted during this session, so I was kind of making weird moves at the beginning.
Alright, so why were you tilted during the session?
Well, the days after the Perfect Max, or the one-off, I had just not gotten anything going, and I was just looking for something, and my runs weren't getting anywhere. And you actually kept using the original ROM because it was just like a superstition thing. I was like, man, if I play on original ROM, I'll get it. So this was the first game I played, or like the second game that I played on original ROM.
Oh, before that you were playing on Tetris Gym.
Yeah.
Oh my, alright, let's see. So, in the beginning it feels like, okay, you're going for a double well on the left side.
Yeah,
and
it's some weird stacking in the beginning of this run.
it is, on a surface it's weird. But that's your first Tetris.
And then here I think it's all sorted out now, so I just start stacking normally.
So you resolved the first like weird-ish issue in the run. And now we're getting close to a point that you're not even a minute into the run and you get a drought. You're 8-9 rows up and it's getting higher and higher and higher, and finally here's the long bar. What is going through your mind right there? Like, oh my god, this is another run, like first 10 lines and the run is over?
Yeah, with those runs I usually get more mad about the runs where I make a mistake than the runs where I just don't get a bar. Like the runs where I don't get a bar, it's just like, oh well, like there's nothing I could have done. So if the run ended there, I would have just been like, whatever.
So that's your third Tetris. That's the fourth, and now we're looking back at a normal stack once again. And now it's like, alright, time to get in a zone, really.
Yeah. And this is the point where usually like the run sort of gets going, in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I should like focus a little bit more and not do anything dumb.
So sometimes you see that you're like 4 rows up, and then is it like, okay, always go for the Tetris, or is it like, okay, whenever there's a Tetris opportunity but I get a long bar but the long bar fits somewhere else better, do you go for that?
It depends on the context of the stack, but you just sort of have to make that decision and be confident in it. Like you can't second guess yourself, so you either have to fill the dependency or take the Tetris.
I mean, everything here is do or die, really.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about this Z piece here coming up. It looks like it can go perfectly into row 5-6, but you decided to turn it and go to 4-5.
I think that both of those placements are pretty similar, but I don't really like having the 2 wide, 1 deep gap on the right, because that's sort of a Bernie formation where you're probably going to take burns. And here, I just have more options. It's just a more open right side. But I think both the moves are, I bet they're pretty similar in evaluation.
So that we get a point in the run where it's pretty relaxing and normal, like still 18 speeds, and it's like, I mean, it's like what 15 probably is for me. 18 is for you. Like, it's a relaxing speed for you to play.
Yeah. And here, even in perfect rounds, it's not always relaxing because you just always have to be on your toes with what placements to make.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, you're always thinking about the stack, really.
Yeah.
So now you get you have to meet 2 meters on the first column, first row, first column, yes. And I was like, okay, now it's the left side is open, and you're not getting the pieces to fill in that left side.
Yeah, I need T's, Z's, and S's, just stuff to put there. And this is sort of situation where if the run ended because of that, I would have been a little bit more mad, because that's like my fault that I made that situation.
But it's like you really are not getting any pieces. Now you get some pieces, but now the right side is getting higher and higher because you didn't get any pieces. Now that T piece it's still doable with rolling, but like if you miss one input, you hang the long bar.
Yeah, hanging the long bar on the right is one of the worst feelings in these runs, but there was not really any other good spots for the T piece there.
Yeah. So those are always what you think about, like, okay, even though this is not the best solution for that T piece, I have to put it here.
Yeah, because I have to fill out the right and make sure, like in the future, if I put the T piece in like columns, 6 and 7, I'm probably gonna have to take a burn there or make a bad attack.
So luckily there's the lumbar, and you score another Tetris, and then we're already 80 lines in, so it's getting pretty fast.
Yeah,
and you're getting closer and closer for transition.
80 lines is where I really need to like get at maximum focus. Mark the halfway point, in my mind, where I'm at 500k. So I'm like, okay, halfway there. But the hard part is transition, and I'm not even like there yet. So
yeah. Right, and it will get dicey before transition even. But right now, the middle is getting a little bit higher with the LPs.
Yeah,
you were dependent indeed, and now you're getting high up on the left side. Your Tetris ready, but still no long bar, or like you said, you don't want to create a double well on the right side, but you pretty much created a triple well right now on the right.
This situation is hard because I'm running out of time to hold out for pieces on the left. I can only put probably 3 more pieces there before it becomes too dangerous to get the inputs to put piece there. So I really need something here.
So you're really praying for RNG that something is coming for that right side.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then something to the right comes, and then finally the long bar. Tetris going into 96 lines.
Yeah, so 100 is like sort of the last stretch before transition.
So here you're setting up for T-spin.
Yeah.
If you don't get that, that's also run over, and I don't think are you trying to avoid as much of T-spins, stuck setups, and all that?
Yeah, so the situation with the T, I think tucking it was better. I actually got in this exact same situation at the very end of the 1.5 minute kill screen, and I made the right move there and I tucked the T, because this gives you less time to hold out. But either way, I needed another T piece. So it's just, sometimes you're forced to make these situations.
So no T, and then you're getting this high up. Finally T comes, so you have to really quickly think, putting the T over to the right side, and then immediately preparing yourself for the T-spin.
That's just a must-hit T-spin.
But even here, with the L piece, there's no place. Normally you would put it on over on the right side, burn like a double, put the long bar over to the left side and live another day. But it's like, you have no choice but an L piece.
It just has to go there, this only move.
If the next piece wasn't a long bar, the run would be over.
Yeah, pretty much.
So and even this all happens like 30 lines before transition. But even now you're getting still high up and finally get a long bar. Still have a tuck set up, but get another long bar. A little bit more breathing room. There's the J piece.
Yeah, and that S piece was pretty inconvenient. Ideally looking for 2 squares, because I don't want to tuck a bar in there and then make another dependency.
Yeah.
Or two L's would also work.
And you also have a fit setup. Are you trying to fill that in with 2 squares? That's the best thing.
Yeah, you want to avoid putting a long bar there, because now you have another long bar dependency, which you can't use for Tetris.
It's funny that for a normal game, putting a VITS, like doing a VITS there, that's no biggie, because then no one will think about it that this is another long bar dependency. Like, okay, we're gonna burn an L, we're gonna burn J, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah, in a normal game, I'd be ecstatic to get a long bar to put in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first square. That's the second square. Transition is coming up in 10 lines. So you're getting high up the board right now.
I get some nice S pieces there.
So right now you also have a long bar dependency on the left side, pretty high up. You're 6 lines before transition. So this long bar, I mean, is it difficult to think like, okay, will I put it over on the left side, solve the long bar dependency first? Will I put it over on the right side, knowing that I'm, instead of 6 lines away from transition, I'm 2 lines away from transition?
Yeah, in these situations, it's a very hard decision to make, and something that helped me was, I think Fractal put this together. It's a spreadsheet of like percentages that you get the long bar to fill the dependency, depending if you like take the Tetris at what like X board height, what percentage of the time will you get another long bar and live.
Yeah.
And I think here I forget the exact percentages now. I used to know them a lot better, but I think taking the Tetris in this situation is better here, which is what I was thinking about.
So you're going now for the Tetris. Then you see another long bar. You're still Tetris ready, but this time you go for filling in that long bar dependency, knowing if you take the Tetris, you go into level 19, twice the speed of 18, but you still have the long bar dependency on the left.
Yeah. Here, I was sort of tempted to take Tetris, even though I knew it was better, because I've been racing Fractal, and the way we measured it was like how many perfect transitions we got. That's at least how I measured it. I was like, oh, Fractal has 7 perfect transitions, and I only have 5. Like, this will sort of boost my number, you know? But having a good stack into 19 is just way more important, because a lot of the times with these attempts, you'll get to 19 with a horrible stack because you just sold out right before. So I really wanted to try to take a clean stack into 19, even if it was pretty high up.
So how important are those 10 lines, like 10, 15 lines before transition?
I mean, they're about as important as the rest of the run, right? It's still level 18, but you know that you get nervous there because you know that perfect transition is coming.
So this Tetris will take you into 19. You have a pretty good stack for going into 19. You had to pin the T piece.
Yeah. That's not
Do,
something I would have done before, because I think one of the runs before, it might have been one of the one-offs, I died because I missed an adjustment. And that really, I was like, okay, if I want to get this, I'm going to have to start hitting those adjustments on level 19, get the confidence there.
Are you thinking about it or are you doing it? Like,
I'm
CT followed by square.
It's just like muscle memory. But before that, I was like, I don't want to risk missing this tuck. But at this point, I was like, I just have to go and do it. Because that's when he's happened if I want to get it.
I think coming up is the most critical part of the run. You get 3 S pieces in like 4 pieces, and you get a very awkward longbar dependency on column 3.
This is not. I sort of thought the run was over. Even if I got a long bar, this is still a horrible stack.
Because you also have a weird shape on column 7, 8, like only a T piece or a Z piece can fit there. But you get like, look, the next piece is an L piece coming up, you fill that in. Now, filled that right side perfectly, get the long bar for Tetris, but still you have that long bar dependency. And with this long bar, you're not going for the long bar dependency, you're going for a Tetris.
Yeah, in that moment, I was thinking about putting it in the dependency, but I really was just worried about safety here. And I think I would rather like take Tetris to lower the stack, because there's still a decent chance I get a bar.
Yeah. So, getting here the Tetris, make it a long bar dependency there. Finally fills it in, and then you get the J piece. Was it intentional to create a vid setup, or was it a misdrop?
It was intentional, because I'm gonna need a long bar in those like holes either way, and if I can sort of buy myself some time by allowing me to stack on top of that long bar dependency instead of just like having to leave it empty, and that's gonna give me like 2 or 3 more pieces to hold out for a long bar.
Luckily, long bar comes next. You go for Tetris first, and then you get perfect pieces. Like you had still the long bar dependency on the left side. You get a beautiful L piece followed by long bar, and the stack is clean. Like nothing happened.
Yeah, that situation where I made the dependency, it was a default. Like I didn't see the bar coming. In that situation, I was like, if I'm gonna get the luck, I'm gonna get the luck, so I'm just gonna full send. So
now it looks like it's back under control. You're still not getting a long bar. Finally gets it over. Like, when are you getting nervous? Like, we're going with a long bar. You went to level 21. You know the run is almost over, but you're also getting higher and higher up the board. Like, when are the nerves really kicking in?
In this run specifically, it was right after I got back to a clean board, because in like level 20 and early 21, I had a pretty bad stack, so I was like this run might as well be dead. But once it filled itself in and I had a clean board, I was like, okay, this is good. And I get more nervous the higher I am up, not necessarily because it's just hard to make moves, but also I know like here I'm at 152 lines, but I have 8 rows, so I'm actually at like 160 after I get bars. So I just know that I'm actually further along than the line count says, and that's just really nerve-wracking.
So that's the first Tetris. Still Tetris ready. That's the second one. Looks like now the stack is back under control. Last level. 2 Tetrises to go. You're not Tetris ready right now.
And here I was really nervous here, and I was taking a lot of pretty bad moves.
And now the final Tetris. It's coming up. How do you say your stack is right now for getting that final Tetris? Because you're not Tetris ready. You need to fill 1 Mino in column 3.
It's a pretty good stack, and it's not a good stack, but it's in this context it's a pretty good stack because I need to fill in 1 Mino, and I can do that with every piece except the square piece. So it's like I can fill that in, and then it doesn't really matter where I put the rest of my pieces, right? It's either I get the bar or I don't.
So you fill that in, and now it's just waiting for a long bar. And waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and still no long bar, still no long bar. There's the long bar. And you finally, like, when you see the long bar, are you like, I can screw this up right now if I miss input or whatever, or is it just autopilot to the right and victory is here?
It's, in these runs, you can't let those thoughts like creep in. You can't think, oh, what if I miss this long bar? So when I saw long bar, I was like that's it, I got it. I didn't even think about the possibility of missing the long bar.
And there it is, the final Tetris is like, whoa, let's freaking go, bomb, you know? It's like,
yeah.
Oh.
I was really like, what's funny is my mom watched the video and she was like, why were you so angry after getting it? I definitely wasn't angry. I was like satisfied with the amount of work that I put in, and it finally paid off. And it was like kind of annoying to get it after 2 one-offs. I was still happy.
So what would you say is the most critical part of your run? Like, where did you really save the run?
Where did I save the run? I don't know. I think getting out of that situation at like 80 lines was good, but I think this run specifically, I just got the pieces, and I didn't make. I made a lot of mistakes that I really should have ended the run, but I didn't like make any holes or anything that automatically ended the run. It was just playing as clean as I could and just getting the pieces I needed.
Perfect Maxout happens. You're the first one to fully record a run. Like, you grinded for 3 weeks, studied, and now what? What are the goals now?
In terms of future goals, Perfect 19 Max would be really cool. And there's one. It's sort of a interesting like goal, but there's a spreadsheet that's maintained by a few people, and it has the best paces ever achieved. So you can like scroll through like 0 to crash basically, and you can see who had the best pace at that line. And on the leaderboard, there's 2 different leaderboards. It's one for 39 cap and one for like crash basically. And I think it would be pretty cool to get every like best pace, like a full sweep from 0 to 39. And I'm probably in the best position to do it with the 1.5. Like, I don't think anybody's beating that anytime soon, so I have a chance. So that might be the next goal after CTWC.
I won't spoil CTWC for you, although I will spoil this max, but what do you expect? But no, CTWC is a topic for another day. Right now, thanks for watching.